So not so much about what India would do in absolute terms, but in relative terms, and just picking up a couple of things which I thought were interesting out of this note. It came out yesterday. I've borrowed a couple of charts because they seemed interesting to me. They're, of course, saying that the reasons why they believe India will have outperformance on a relative basis to the other markets. India's relative growth likely to accelerate as per Morgan Stanley compared to at least the Asian peers, if not more. Now, here's a couple of very interesting charts. They have put in the rate differential of India versus the US and the relative performance of the Indian markets versus the MSCI markets. Now, slightly confusing, keep in mind, this is the kind of performance that happens of the Indian markets versus MSCI, and this is the rate differential. It's an inverted axis. Keep that at the back of your mind. So what they are saying, since 2000, according to Morgan Stanley, the repo rate versus the Fed rate gap, it's the purple line. Whenever that differential has gone down, whenever that differential has actually underperformed, the markets have underperformed as well. And whenever that differential has stayed stable, the markets did well. Now, there's a divergence that they said happened sometime around 2013, wherein this relationship broke. Curiously, you would always anticipate that when the Indian rates offer a lot higher than what the Fed rates would be offering, you would see money coming into India. But according to Morgan Stanley and the history that they have seen, is when the differential between the two rates narrowed, India's performance relative to the MSCI pack actually did better. And this is the relationship that they've seen, curiously I might add, all the way till 2013, when this relationship broke. Now, they are saying that according to them, the possibility is that we've seen that convergence, and now we may see a re-establishment of that relationship, wherein the relative performance of India to the MSCI will go up if indeed the rate differential goes or stays stable. And they are using the recent RBI comments era to say that according to them, the last RBI commentary does suggest that the market would believe that there is no rate hike as of now. As me and Ira discussed earlier, people are split across the board on this, so there is no saying, but Morgan Stanley believes that that will not be the case. So this is part two of their presumption as to why they believe Indian markets relative to MSCI would do well. They've also said that India's beta relative to the world is at a 13-year low. Now, typically lower beta would mean that the markets will not really go up dramatically, but they are believing that we might be in a world wherein the world at large might not really have high beta and would give comatose returns. And if that is indeed the case, on a relative basis, again, they believe India could outperform. And then, of course, the usual factors that earnings have to come up, and they believe earnings will pick up, which will all lead to the markets doing well. And that's the base theme that Morgan Stanley has. But these two were slightly interesting charts that they believe that will help India outperform on a relative basis. I just want to remind our viewers that their base case, bull case, and the bear case scenarios for the Sensex, they believe that until December 18 or calendar year 18, the bull case would see the Sensex move up to 41,500. Their base case is 35,700. And they believe that the bear case, if indeed everything goes completely all right, then we might actually go down to the levels of 25,000. Again, remember, this is something that they're saying that India could do on a relative basis compared to the other emerging markets. On absolute terms, they are saying that we might well have a year which doesn't give too many returns.